Here at the shop, mostly we use this VacuFlow 960 dual motor central vac to do our cleaning. It's plumbed to the benches as well as two inlets in the showroom. But for my own amusement, I have installed this Spencer unit from about 1920. It's received a new coat of paint recently. It looks nice for 105 years old, I would say. And I've also added a couple other little fun things to it. This motor is a replacement, as you may remember from a prior video. This has got to be from the 60s, and it's a modern capacitor start single phase 2-horse motor, which I'm not as concerned about wearing out or having a problem with like the original, the other ones that have repulsion start motors. So this is in use here regularly whenever I feel like using it, and I noticed that in addition to the face mount, which is what's used to secure it, it has a base mount, and that was a good spot to put the junction box with the contactor inside. And recently I have extended the cover, spaced it out, tried to do it kind of artfully here, and I've added a vintage ammeter and a modern water lift gauge. Now this machine only runs at like 45 inches of water typically, so this gauge goes up to 60. It reads in inches of water as well as inches of mercury. And if I go inside here, you can see why I needed to space the front out for clearance. So the ammeter is just in series with the motor connection, and then our vacuum gauge is plumbed with a plastic line, the type you're not supposed to use for an ice maker, even though everybody does. And that goes around there, and I've tapped a hole in a fitting and put a fitting there, put that little brass compression adapter. Now you'll also see installing this system I have gone against my own advice not to use Schedule 40, and this is plumbed in Schedule 40, 2-inch, both the intake and the exhaust. Which, being cyclonic like the VacuFlow, the exhaust goes outside up to the roof. So here at the bench I have a Spencer inlet and the start-stop station. You could set up that contactor just with a regular on-off switch, but if you have an extra set of contacts, as I do, then you can also do this. And this is a momentary normally open, and the stop button is a normally closed. So I'm going to zoom in on those gauges now as I push the button. You'll see the amperage peg the meter and then drop off, and then the water lift will climb. And if I open the inlet, then you'll see that the amperage goes up and the suction goes down. So I'm going to open an inlet now. And then as I hit the stop button, you'll see the amperage go down immediately and the water lift drop off slowly as the system pressure decreases. Here we go. So even though it's this by Spencer standards is a very small machine, it's still, the rotating part of it is still very massive, and so it takes quite a long time to coast down, unlike a modern vacuum. And the other difference you might note is because this motor is a constant speed induction motor, regardless of whether you have everything sealed off or if you have an inlet open or a hose plugged in, it's basically running at the same RPM. And it can run closed all day long. It doesn't overheat, it doesn't care, and I think that's kind of cool. You can see I've also complemented this unit with a period correct hose rack, even though the hose and tools to the trained eye are obviously not genuine Spencer. They do fit the bill. So anyway, there's that, and the only other inlet on that system is one right out here. So anyway, thanks for watching. Happy Spencering.